The Red Dragon. That is correct. We have a full-blown guide for you here today to beat the Red Dragon in the special episodes. On top of that, with all epic cookies minus Hollyberry, because that is a requirement. So thank you for tuning in. As always, appreciate your support. Many of you have asked for this, so I wanted to deliver here today and give you a full-blown guide, like I said. Down below, you'll find the timestamps where I break down the strategy of this particular run, additionally giving you those key tips and tricks. We'll talk about the team here and considerations to help you get past the Red Dragon of the Valley. That is correct. So thank you for tuning in. As always, let's talk about this here today. So first off, Red Dragon. This is one of the first bosses that you'll run into here now for the special episodes Legend of the Red Dragon, essentially part 2 or the expansion. Once you get to here, that is the name of the game. You're going to run into the Red Dragon. Now, one of the teams that I used before, you can check out the extended video that I've done about the progression. I have a bunch of our new cookies. We'll talk about that here in a second. However, I wanted to give you a guide here with something more viable for many of the players out there, particularly free to play, those kinds of things and considerations that you can make to get by Red Dragon of the Valley. Now, the first thing to understand here is we do have special conditions in this battle. Cookies will have certain stats. They're adjusted. Minimum cookie level is 45. Cookie skill level is 45. Bonds, all that other fun stuff. Enemies debuff resist is still there. We're going to hang on to that one for a second because we're going to talk about this. HP shield capacity is decreased. And on top of that, your allies' healing decreases as well. Now, for the boss here in particular, we got these waves of magma lizards. Additionally, here, the Valley Magma Storm Ghost before we hit the boss. Now, a couple of the key pieces on this boss information. Lava Dragon Scales passive causes burn to the attacker, starts the battle with a hit shield. So you need to make sure you have the ticks going in order to take this thing down. It's going to slow you off or slow you down at the beginning. So that's part of our strategy. We'll talk about that here in a second. Shred deals damage to the 3 closest targets and stuns them. Ravage deals damage to the 3 closest targets and stuns them. Pyroclasm deals damage to all targets and applies Void. And additionally here, Magma Breath deals damage to all targets and applies Magma. This boss can deal heavy damage really quickly. You can get stun locked, as you see here, between Shred and Ravage, which can be a problem for your team. Additionally, because we have low shield, we have low healing, it's another consideration there that we have to play around for this particular boss. Now, here's the strategy for our team and a team that you can certainly utilize. Again, all epics here, as you can see. No pure vanilla. Pure vanilla is certainly something you can run, but Cotton can get you through. Again, this one is required here. Hollyberry, make sure that if you have Hollyberry, don't forget to switch in your Hollyberry if that one's better as well, because that does make a difference. So don't forget. Now, in terms of the strategy here, we are running a Claire cookie. Claire is going to be a debuffer. It can apply that shield if you need it as you get through the waves and those things, but the debuff is really, really nice. Additionally, Sherbet here, as well as our friend Squid Ink, do 2 things. One, damage and hits and those ticks. That's going to help you move these things down. Ink does a ton of damage. Sherbet builds over time with the ice and gets that single target level here. Was a part of my team in the other run that you can check out here on the channel as well, but certainly a good one to have for that single target damage. Other considerations could be things like Vampire Cookie, Rye Cookie. Again, you got to deal with the squishiness and pay attention to there. Now, additionally here, we got Cotton Cookie. Cotton's a big one for our healing. Additionally for ticks and helping bring down those that boss dragon's initial start up there with that shield. And then in terms of treasures here, we're going to focus on damage with Dream Conductor's Whistle. We have cooldown, and then again, running Disciples Magic Scroll. A few things here when we go to edit this team. Certainly you can consider this one right here, Old Pilgrims instead. If you're a little bit worried about your squishiness, you could consider your defensive Gatekeeper's Horn here as well if you want to go on crit. Grim Looking Sigh. Additionally here, Sleepyhead's Jelly Watch is a good swap as well. Other things to consider too is any survivability. Sugar Swan Shiny Feather, if you're getting wiped a ton, that will help you survive the map. Again, you only need 1 cookie, and then you can also run some invulnerability stuff as well to help you get through. So those are some good considerations for your swaps here, depending on where your skills treasure levels are in order to succeed and get past the map. But again, I'm more focused on that damage. We can do burst damage, get through this relatively quickly, make a big difference there. And we're not really implying a go wide strategy because we want to be focused on that single target hit damage. Again, we do have Squid Ink here that can get you through and help from that perspective. Now onto the toppings here. Survivability with Hollyberry. We are running pure damage. Again, if you're worried about squishiness, you can run 5 solid. Here you definitely can get through with the 5 raspberry. In terms of Eclair, we're running the chocolate chip set or choco chip in order to continue to get the cooldown on, because we want to make sure that we keep that debuff on the defense reduction. Attack again on our friend Squid Ink. Again, consideration there with 5 solid almond. And then here is just on cotton, making sure that we're healing. Choco chip set there as well. Now, one other consideration there that I did want to bring up in terms of our lovely treasures. One thing that you can think about too is you could apply your slingshot, giving defense reduction by 70% as well. That might be a nice one to swap in. That can be a big deal. Now remember, again, they do have some stickiness on the debuff resist. However, the dragon does not have that thing where it pulls any debuff off, so you can certainly land the debuffs, which can be a big piece here for this particular boss run for the red dragon. Essentially your phase 1, and we'll talk about that here. So that is the boss. That is the strategy of this particular run. Additionally, a epic team, like I said, to get through this run for you here today. Let's go prove it and move it so that you know that you can absolutely use this team to get through this particular boss battle. All right, red dragon, here we go. So again, there's our shield now on with the Claire as an example. It's gonna pretty much fall off when we get to the boss. Good old royal margarine, let's go. Tart to tan cookie. Your guard down. Now in the original, if you go watch the other video, I do run it with these two brand new cookies. I did that so you can see that you can get through this boss battle with that as well, with pure vanilla and sherbet. Boom. Let's take this thing down, Pitaya. Absolutely not. All right, our friend Snapdragon. No mercy, my friends. Let's go. So here we are. We got a lot of great things here too. Seed of Life, a bunch of other things. Dream Whistle, it's going up. Crit percent up. Lots of good things. You see the burn on them. Again here, quickly, lots of pushback. It's going to be real close here because of the timing that we had at the beginning, but we will be able to get through. Now, perfect. Is about right. Let's go. And that, my friends, go inside and take cover. We will take cover. We'll conclude the red dragon battle here for the first time through. I'm expecting to see this thing again. So here's what we got. This team can get you 3 stars. Again, I was on auto. You can manually do it, but this team is good enough to get 3 stars. I've done it already before, and wanted to give you the right team to get through. All right, there you go. Now, all you need to do is get 2 stars to advance or beat the level to advance, which is key. All right, so let's circle back into Red Dragon here. So a couple of other key notes. Again, like I said in the other video that I ran for the whole episode, we swapped in some of the newer cookies between Tart to Tan. Additionally, we kept Sherbet here, and we had Royal Margarine and Pure Vanilla. Great team. This team, again, is a fully blown epic team for you here. Something that you can use to get by. We covered the strategy objective of this boss. We saw the run. We talked about some of the treasure swaps, some of the cookie swaps, and the team as always, and gave you a wonderful breakdown in today's episode on how to get past the Red Dragon. Let me know in the comments if you got questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you as always, and feel free to swing by the Discord server. Thank you to the community for asking for this. I love that back and forth as always, and your say, because I love to try and get these things for you here too. So with that, I just want to say thank you for your support as always. Appreciate the likes and the subs as we continue to grow this amazing community. Hopefully this guide gets you through. If not, let me know what other teams you enjoy running. But again, it's going to be based off your teams and what you have. This is a great team for you to get by the boss here in Red Dragon of the Valley. Thank you for tuning in as always. Like I say, appreciate that support. We got a ton of Cookie Run Kingdom content here on the channel. More headed your way all the time. So thank you. And with that, we'll see you again soon. Mythras out of here. Best of luck in the Legend of the Red Dragon.